Okay, I think we're live. I think we're live. So before we say anything else, I'm going to check to make sure that we're really live on Facebook. So here we are. This is a test. Liz Dawn going live on Facebook. But I'm looking on the Facebook pages. And lo and behold, I'm not sure that we are.
Yes.
But we are.
We are.
Live.
We're live. Hey, hey. You know, it's always a miracle to get the technology, right? Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. So we're live in several areas on Facebook. And I am Liz Dawn. And next to me is the amazing Dr. Sue Morter. Now, we're live on the Celebrate Your Life pages and groups, and we're also live on Dr. Sue Morter's fan page. So we're in several places. We're in several places at once. We're finally pulling a Carlos Castaneda. And we're in several, and for those of you, Dr. Sue understood that.
Yeah, I get it.
I am here with the amazing Dr. Sue Morter, who is an international speaker and a master of bioenergetic medicine and a quantum field visionary. She is extremely powerful in her healing work and the work that I think her father created this has been his legacy to you. So, Dr. Sue, I'm not even going to try and explain your work. I'm going to allow you to explain your work.
Explain your work.
I've experienced it firsthand, and I know how powerful it is. I've been in workshops with you, and I've experienced your work personally, one-on-one, with one-on-one sessions, and it's really made a tremendous difference in my energy and my body field and in my physical being. So take it away.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, one of the things that we're realizing with quantum science today is that everything is energy. Everything in the whole of our lives is about energy, and it's about how energy is moving and flowing, or if it's stuck, and it shows up in our lives this way, it shows up in our bodies this way. And basically what we're doing is working with teaching people how to move the energy of their life by learning to use their body to navigate the process, because our outer life is, as quantum science is showing us, is an outpicturing of our own consciousness, our own wakefulness. And so the more awake we are to our power to move energy and to work with energy, the more abundant and flowing and consistent our life becomes. So it began with me regarding healing, physical healing with people, but then we recognized that mental and emotional healings were happening at the same time, that we were learning to move this energy through people's bodies. And so that led me into a deep inquiry about the power of the mind and consciousness, etc. I was drawn to meditation techniques that were that are thousands of years old. I was graced with falling into the hands of some amazing teachers from India who just opened up my reality by leading me through some deep meditative processes. And instantly I had some pretty serious awakenings, some pretty multidimensional, extraordinary experiences that changed my life forever. I spent the next 10 years trying to learn how to embody and integrate what I was now awakening to. And in the process of all of that, I learned how to enhance self-healing and to enhance one's ability to no longer be attached to the mind and to the stories that it writes in our lives, and to learn how to work with a deeper, more true reality that resides underneath the level of our thinking, analytical, story writing mind. So I put all that together, and that's kind of how we start approaching a conversation with people. Right. That is, it just ends up being completely life-changing and mind-bending and heart-opening. And what ultimately happens is that people begin to recognize that they're so much more than their belief systems will allow them to be. They are now learning how to tap a different language within their system and use that for the guidance in their lives, their life experience, their soul purpose. These kinds of things just start to unfold naturally when we learn to train the mind to steward this deep internal soulful self this energetic being, this energy spirit being, which I call the essential soulful self, we allowed that to have the life that it came here to have, rather than encasing it in a fear-based personality that's stocked full of beliefs that kind of box us in, limit us in one way or another.
It's so emancipating.
Yeah.
It's so freeing. So I'm just going to recap really quickly because we kind of jumped into this conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm Liz Dawn. I'm the CEO of Celebrate Your Life Events. I think that's the first time I've ever called myself the CEO of Celebrate Your Life Events.
Sweet. Congratulations.
Co-founder. I guess I just did. I don't know where that came from, but I am the co-founder of Celebrate Your Life Events. And we're live on Dr. Sue Morter's fan page. We're live on the Celebrate Your Life Phoenix 2018 page. We're also live on the Celebrate Your Life fan page as well. And hello to Catherine and Jacqueline and Sylvie. Hello, everyone. And to Joan Clark. Joan, you must be coming to the Phoenix event. And to Kelly. And and to David and Maggie and Breeze and Deb. Hello to everybody out there who we're sharing this message with today. I'm really excited to share with you Dr. Sue Morter, whose energy work is profoundly healing. And I love what you're sharing because it's almost as if we're peeling away at the onion, right?
Yeah.
So we're peeling away at the onion to really begin to live who we're meant to be. I mean, is that essentially our soul's path, our true soul's journey?
Yes. It's interesting because when we speak about the soul, it means we're not identifying as the soul. If we speak about the mind, it means we're not identifying as the mind. So what I like to do is speak about the mind as though I'm the soulful self here trying to train my mind to really steward me. Einstein said that we were given this beautiful gift of the intuitive, which I would call the soulful self, the knowing self, and then this rational mind to act as its loyal servant. And we've created a culture that honors the servant instead of the original gift. And what I'm trying to do is to get us to recognize we're supposed to be identifying as the soul and train our minds to set us free, train our minds to stop, boxing us into something. And so if we can just flip it like that, it's kind of an example of what I'm interested in doing at Celebrate Your Life and flipping things over. I call it the quantum flip, where we're just completely changing the identity and recognizing the true role of the mind is to steward me as the soul, as the soulful self. So when we start thinking in those terms, it's like, wait a second, I want to train my mind to set myself free. That sounds, who wouldn't?
I'm seriously like full body goosebumps and my eyes are watering. I'm getting so excited about this because what you said is so profound about the servant. Like instead of allowing the body and who we truly are to be enslaved by the mind, we're doing the opposite now.
Right.
We're setting it free. We're totally setting our souls free to be able to have the freedom to express and to live who we truly are in the world. And that's what your work does. That is what's so profound.
Exactly.
And we're talking to Dr. Sue today because Dr. Sue's going to be joining us at the Celebrate Your Life Phoenix event on November 2nd through the 5th.
Yes,
and
I can't
she's
wait.
also going to be doing, it's not on the website yet, but she has agreed to do a full day intensive program on Monday, November 5th. So she's going to be participating in the main conference, which starts on Friday, November 2nd, and goes through Sunday, November 4th. So Dr. Sue will be there doing a workshop and an introduction to her work, and then a total intensive program on Monday, November 5th. And that's not on the website yet. It'll be on the website by tomorrow. So if anybody wants to register that, go and just grab a ticket or add it to your ticket order or join us for the event. The URL is celebrateyourlife.org. Just remember that .org. So it's www.celebrateyourlife.org. And we've got Brenda's here and Roseanne is here and Sheila's here and Jamie from Peru. How wonderful for all of you to join us. This is great. This is so fun. And David is there. And Monica, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and post this on your page, the URL, so people know where they can go ahead and join us. Now, Celebrate Your Life is an entire weekend event where you get to see all these amazing spiritual visionaries in one place at one time. So joining Dr. Sue Morter will be Marianne Williamson, along with Carolyn Mason, Greg Braden, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, and all of these powerful speakers. And Dr. Sue's going to be joining us I want to repeat that again. She's going to be doing an intensive full day workshop on Monday, November 5th. So make sure and catch that. So what can people expect from your workshop, Sue? What is your goal for people to take away with them?
Sure. First I want people to have an understanding of what quantum science is really bringing forward for us. And most importantly, how can we utilize that? How can we implement it? How can we embody it? How can we bring what science is showing us to life? And so what I'm going to be sharing is that the world of spirituality and the world of quantum science is actually bridging science and spirituality for us in a long-awaited way, in that those two worlds never really should have been separated as a form of study. And so what quantum science is doing is bringing back to life for us what we've always known as the spirit being or the energy being, depending on if we're speaking about it scientifically or from a spirituality standpoint, is eternal. That energy cannot be created or destroyed, and the spirit self is an eternal being, is really saying the same thing, just two different worlds are speaking about it. And so what that means is that we are here and have always been here. We are here to experience this life as an outpicturing of our dreams and our desires and what we can create. And what we have done is we kind of landed here and splatted and dispersed ourselves and forgotten. And our mind went one way, our body went another, and our breath went a third way. And we have lost the ability to sense and feel our connectedness to the whole of creation. That we are truly cosmic beings that have access to an infinite amount of information. 11 billion bits of information are bombarding us every millisecond. And we don't have the training of the mind to learn how to access it and benefit from it. And so what I'm going to be doing is hooking up the circuitry for people to be able to perceive, sense, feel, know, far beyond trusting or having to have faith or believing in something. They're going to know how to feel and sense their deep truth, the deepest truth that is traversing through all of us. And as we begin to access that and learn how to live into life from that place, our lives change automatically. So letting go of beliefs or changing them is kind of secondary. It's a byproduct of what we're doing. We're setting up the circuitry for the soulful self to be able to express itself without the hesitations or the hesitancies or the judgments that the mind has been imparting upon our circumstances all of our lives. So we're changing the roles.
And you'll be doing this through experiential exercises throughout the
exercises,
workshops.
how-tos, take-homes, all kinds of amazing, in-the-moment, experiential things that allow someone to anchor. That's what she's talking about. I get it. Now I'm going to grab a hold of that sensation and I'm going to start practicing it so that I'm never without it. And as we do that, we begin to enhance and nurture and develop our ability to sense and feel what we previously would have called a sixth sense. What it is, it's our true sense. It's the wholeness of the right use of our senses is to truly be able to tap into a deep wisdom that alone our thinking mind cannot harness. And so we have to build the circuitry for us to be able to perceive this. And that's what we're going to get started on at Celebrate Your Life.
And you've been, so let me just recap just for a second. So Dr. Sue Morter is going to be joining us at the Celebrate Your Life Phoenix event on November 2nd through the 5th. She's going to be teaching a 2-hour workshop during the main conference and then a full day intensive on Monday, November 5th. And these are some of the things that she's going to be teaching during that event. Now, today is, what's today? Tuesday, September 11th, and we don't have it on the website yet for her full day, but it will be by tomorrow, which is Wednesday, September 12th. So if you want to add that, because some of the people here are already signed up for the conference, if you want to add that to your conference experience, we can take care of that for you. Or for those of you that are just joining us, make sure when you do register for the conference that you add on that post-conference workshop, because it's going to be amazing. I really believe, like everything that you're sharing right now, I believe that this is so much of the soul's journey, is for, or what we're here, like part of our purpose here, you know, in the world, in the physical world, is to remember who we truly are, is to really live the soul's truth. And that's what your work does. It strips away all this other, you know, BS and wounding and fears and anxieties and the mind's trappings, and sort of takes it down to who we truly are, to live who we truly are in the world. Yes. I love that. Love
We're
it.
reframing it. Yes, we're
Yeah.
definitely looking at it from a different perspective. People do have pains and they do have what they are perceiving as wounds that cause a withhold in their lives, and it causes great pain and grief and sadness and a feeling of loss and separation and isolation. And I am here to allow us to recognize that while all of that can be true, it is also serving a higher purpose. And once we recognize the higher purpose, the vibrational frequency of those holdings changes altogether. So what we used to be sad about or have a grudge about or remorseful about or resentful of actually begins to become fuel for our own awakening process. As we start to do this quantum flip and start to identify as the soulful self, we recognize that we came here to undo the trappings of the personality. We came here to still that vibration of the mind that freaks out, that's angry, that's fighting back, that's taking a stand. We come here to soften that, to dissolve it, so that we can come out through that whole layer, that whole veil of the illusion, and emerge as the soulful self, transcendent of these experiences that previously were holding us back and causing us to feel like we are less than who we truly are. We are magnificent, and it is time for us to be able to align the happenings of our life in such a manner that it supports that knowing and stops really suppressing it in the ways that it has in our lives.
Now, you've been teaching this work for how many years now?
Well, I've been teaching a form of it for about 30 years. My own awakening experience was in 2000, so for about 18 years,
Wow.
I have been exploring, using my clinical experience to experiment with things, and lots of patients along the way started healing faster, getting better faster, staying better longer, because they were utilizing some of the things that I was working with myself, and that parlayed its way into me traveling and teaching. I've been traveling around and teaching around the globe now for about 12 or 13 years, and in all kinds of settings, in large group settings with thousands of people in the audience, and intimate settings in the far corners of the world, sharing this and bringing this memory back to life inside of each of us, because it is, as you said, Liz, it is our sole purpose on this planet to awaken and to train the mind to serve its real purpose. And the mind has taken over, and instead of serving, it has enjoyed driving the bus, for a while. And we just have to teach it that it's the co-pilot. It's not really the pilot here. It's not really in charge. It's supposed to be stewarding something greater than itself. And as soon as we plug it into that, it actually becomes relieved. The mind begins to feel relief that it doesn't have to come up with all the answers. It's actually, okay, I belong to something bigger. You mean I'm not alone? Are you kidding? Right. And so all of a sudden it sighs this huge sigh of relief, and we become more brilliant all at the same time. It's a miracle, really. It's quite amazing.
Because the mind probably feels like, okay, I don't have to carry this load. I don't have
to it's like, here, I'm happy. Here.
Right. Because the answers aren't here. The answers are here. The answers are within our soul, within our beings.
Yes.
I love your work, and I'm so excited to have you at Celebrate Your Life. Again, Dr. Sue Morter is going to be one of our featured presenters at the Celebrate Your Life Phoenix event, and that's on November 2nd through the 5th. People travel from all over the world to attend Celebrate Your Life. Along with Dr. Sue is going to be the fabulous Lisa Williams, and Lisa is watching right now. Hi, Lisa. Lisa
Fabulous.
Williams.
Hi, Lisa.
She's going to be doing a presentation on Saturday night called The Three Mediums, and doing spiritual medium readings, and also her own workshop. Beautiful. And Lisa's also doing a pre-conference. We also have Marianne Williamson and Caroline Mace and Greg Braden, and it's truly Dr. Joe Dispenza. It is one of the top events of its kind, I think, in the world, because it's the only place where you can see so many spiritual visionaries at one place at one time. Again, I posted the URL. It's celebrateyourlife.org, www.celebrateyourlife.org. Don't forget that .org. And come join us, because we are going to just rock the world and transform lives heal lives and just be like enlightened
Right.
after we walk out of that
Right.
conference, don't you
And
think?
just and being together, when you get so many people of like mind in the presence of so many high frequency messages, one after another, day after day, and we start all dancing in that vibration together, it is as if the soul just is celebrating, yes, this is what life is supposed to be like. This is what I had in mind when I signed up to go to planet Earth, what's up? And so it's just so amazing to be together and to share at that intensive of a level. Because of the intensity of one teacher after another and one experience after another and building the circuitry to be able to sustain that, it is because of that that we create the environment at the cellular structure level that reframes how the cells and the little antennas on the surface of the cell that are recording everything and reporting it inside the cellular structure, which creates a chemistry that ultimately determines our physiology. It has a chance to change in those moments, because just as soon as it would be ready to fall back into its old habit, we hit it with another uplifting, reality that vibrates as so true that it starts to shuck off these layers of the illusion that we've been carrying around all of our lives. And so it's just
Absolutely.
a beautiful
Absolutely.
experience.
And
Thank you,
there's,
Liz, for
it's
what you're
true.
doing.
I love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about it, and
Yeah.
creating these events is
Yeah.
definitely my soul's calling. I mean, you know that just by being in the room with me. I'm just like, wow,
Yeah,
this
I
is
get it.
it's
I'm
so
the
cool.
same.
But what really happens for me, I think it's is about the spiritual teachers and all of these amazing. It's like the dream team of the spiritual community coming together. And it's also about the people, because people come from all
Yeah.
over the world, and some
Yeah.
people travel alone, and you're alone for maybe 30 seconds. You start meeting your soul tribe, you start
Yeah.
connecting with like minded people. So
Yeah.
it is, yes, it's about the presenters, and it's also about the collective energy of all the people attending. And
Yeah.
that's what creates
It's
this
coming together.
beautiful, just like synergy. That's why I continue to do what I do. In
Yeah.
a world where everybody's taken everything online, and the online courses are great, but I got to tell you, there's nothing like being in the room
Yeah.
live with
Right.
people, and
There,
that's where the magic happens.
there's definitely an energy that happens there. I know that when I'm
Absolutely.
giving a presentation, I don't give a canned presentation. I begin with some basic truths, some fundamental realities that we have to realign to. And then I start interacting with the group and take into account what you're bringing. So when the audience members are there and engaging, it brings it to life in a way that's relevant for the people who are there. And that's what makes it so rich and rewarding for me, to be able to engage, to meet people and to exchange on the level of what their questions are and what's happening for them in a real rubber meets the road kind of real life way. Then we get to actually embody and apply these tremendous principles that science and spirituality have been bringing to us for thousands of years, and for recent year discoveries. We get to amalgamate and just be the alchemist in the moment that allows something to birth that is new and unique to that particular gathering. And so it's so awesome and so amazing. There's just nothing
Yes.
better.
Yes. So come join us. Come join us at
Come and
Celebrate
play.
Your Life. Again, it's celebrateyourlife.org. It's in November. Take a look at our lineup. We've got a spectacular lineup. And Dr. Sue, thank you so much for joining me today on
My
Facebook
goodness.
Live. I
It's
really
my great
appreciate
pleasure, Liz.
it.
Anywhere you are, I want to be. I just love you so much. We
Yeah,
have a
let's go
great,
play
great
and hang
time.
out. I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody out there in Peru and all over the world. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've been with Dr. Sue Morter. I'm Liz Dawn from Celebrate Your Life events, and we look forward to seeing you in November in Phoenix, Arizona. It's beautiful here that time of year. Check out the website at celebrateyourlife.org. Again, that's celebrateyourlife.org. And love to all of you. Mwah. Many blessings.
Blessings.